Hey guys, Stepagon here. Welcome back to the channel. Pretty simple video today. My Premier League prediction videos. Premier League starts in a few days. Just a bit of hype. It feels like football is back in its official form. And I don't see any reason to delay this. Let's get straight in. Starting with my relegation zone. Number 20th, Norwich. It's as simple as that. I could just end the video and then just act like I got 100%. Because I don't see a rat's... There's no rat's chance in hell they stay up. They're definitely going down in 20th. 19th, I've got Southampton. Danny Ings was the biggest loss this club has had in ages. He was the only thing keeping them up. And now they have no attacking threat. They have a bad manager. I don't care how many times Ralph Hasenhüttl gets praised. You don't lose 9-0 twice in the Prem and be considered a good manager. Number 18, I've got Crystal Palace. Patrick Vieira is not a good manager, and that's basically my whole reasoning behind it. They had a system under Roy Hodgson, and that system is now going to be betrayed because now they have Patrick Vieira, who thinks he's Zidane, but in reality, he's a championship level manager, managing in the Prem purely because of his name. And yeah, there may be a possibility where they stay up, but I don't see them doing so. Let's move on to what I think are the relegation candidates. We're talking about from 11th to 18th. Let's move on to my relegation candidates. Starting off with just staying up, I've got Watford. I believe they have enough depth in their squad and enough experience in their squad to survive the drop. Plus, the manager, I don't think he's going to stick. I think he's going to be replaced by Pulis or Allardyce by, I want to say, March, and by that time they'll stay up. Next up, I've got Brentford. A lot of people overrating Brentford and thinking they'll finish higher. I think they're pretty good, but I think the one man who's going to shine is Ivan Toney. I think he's going to have a great season in the Prem. He's exactly that Dominic Calvert-Lewin style player, and I think that sort of player and that sort of archetype really succeeds in the Prem. Next up above them, I've got Brighton. Do I need to explain this? It's just going to be the exact same season Brighton have been having for the past, I don't know how many years they've been in the top flight. Next up, we got Newcastle. Steve Bruce has surprisingly done a good job. I don't understand this. How has he done a better job than Rafa Benitez? I will never understand. Again, Newcastle will have a good season. I could see them finishing higher. Next up, we've got Burnley. I think this is going to be a good season. They bounce back. They'll very comfortably go over the 40-point mark. Because last year they didn't. And I think that's going to be a wake-up call for Sean Dyche, who's a really regimented person. And I could see him taking this Burnley team maybe a bit higher. But so far, I'm going to say 13th. Next up, I've got West Ham in 12th. I think second season syndrome is going to hit them really hard. Plus, squad demands of the Europa League. Plus, they lost Jesse Lingard. Plus, they've not signed anyone. That's going to be a big problem going into West Ham's season. And finally, with 11th, my most controversial one on the entire table, I've got Arsenal to finish 11th. I know what you're thinking, right? Arsenal, not in the top half. Well, that's starting to look more like a possibility day and days past. I'm sure Ben White is going to do something, but it's going to be a few days to see if Ben White just becomes another Granit Xhaka. But the way I see it is Arsenal are not going to function well this season. It's going to be a massive hellhole, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually finish lower. But if they finish higher, fine. I'll take it, to be honest, but I don't see them in the top half this year, to be honest. Let's move on to that top half. We're now moving from the Europa League spots to the mid-table. We're going to see that region before we move on to the Champions League spots. Top half of the table, let's go. Wolves, Spurs, Villa, Leeds, Everton, Leicester. I'm saying these all in one go because these can literally be swappable. This is a really hard mid-table to predict. I've got Wolves, 10th. They've got a new manager, but I don't think that's a major concern considering the talent and experience on the squad. Next up, we've got Spurs. That's another pretty controversial one because they've got Nuno. But I think the main reason I've got them here is because I don't think they'll have a good start to the season. Nuno's system is going to take a bit of getting used to. Plus, they don't have Gareth Bale, who's a massive source of everything last season. Plus, it's also very tentative on them if they keep Harry Kane, because if they keep Harry Kane, they could go much higher. Villa, though having lost Grealish, are a really good team. Obviously, they've acquired Danny Ings, and that's going to be a big one considering their striking. Now they're a really effective attacking force. And if they were getting those many goals with Ollie Watkins and Jack Grealish, God knows what they're going to do with Leon Bailey and Danny Ings. Leeds, there is a potential for second season syndrome, but Marcelo Bielsa is not that man. He's not complacent, and he's no Chris Wilder. He's a genuine, proven godfather of the game. Next up, we've got Everton. It's going to be weird seeing Rafa in an Everton shirt, despite him being a massive Liverpool guy. However, I think his system's pretty easy to understand, and I think there's enough quality in the squad to keep them up. And it just really depends on whether Rafa is willing to accept James Rodriguez and the players that he's got, and realize he doesn't have really top world-class players, but he has good Premier League level players. And fifth, I've got Leicester. The loss of Wesley Fofana is going to be big, but I don't see it really affecting them in the long run, because there's so much young youth and depth in that squad. They're going to pull through. We all know they are. Now it's time to move on to the Champions League positions and who I think is going to win the Premier League this season. Let's go. My Champions League positions, starting off with Liverpool. I'm so sorry, Liverpool fans, but I just don't see you finishing higher than fourth. It's obviously going to still get taken used to for that centre-back partnership of Gomez and Van Dijk. They've been injured for 8 months, and you don't just come back from injuries like those. You need to get used to some time, and from what I've seen, there is still a lot of rust in them in pre-season. And Klopp's going to do well. I'm not saying it's going to be like a close battle between you and Leicester. I think you're going to do pretty well. I think you're going to pull through towards the end. Next up, we've got United in third. Sancho was a great signing. They needed someone on that right wing. They needed someone who was pass first instead of selfish, like a lot of that back line. And yeah, great signing, Jadon Sancho. I think he's going to really do well in the Premier League with its all youth and pace being prioritized. And finally, in second position, I have Manchester City, which means in first position, I've predicted my club, Chelsea, to win the Premier League this season. And this is purely due to one reason and one reason only. City don't have attacking depth. They have Gabriel Jesus, and that's it. He's a liability when it comes to attacking because of his injuries. He's a very injury prone player, and after that you have Liam Delap, and that's it. Which is the reason why I've put Chelsea up there. They have the depth, they have the leadership, they have the overall strength, they have the overall chemistry, they have the manager, they have the willingness, and they even have the transfers with the announcement of Romelu Lukaku basically being confirmed. And overall, yeah, I think this is Chelsea's year of winning the Premier League. And anyway, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys agree. Drop down your predictions in the comments down below. I would love to see what you guys think. And anyway, until the next video, peace.